So it looks like Indo Farm Equipment had quite the debut on the stock market today, huh?
Yeah, actually, it was a pretty interesting day for them. They listed with a pretty solid premium, but then things got a bit bumpy.
Bumpy how? Like roller coaster bumpy?
Well, kind of. Initially, the shares jumped up over 20% on the BSE, trading at 258.40 rupees, which was great news for those who got in on the IPO.
Right, and that's a pretty good start, I guess, especially considering the market mood lately.
Exactly. The stock then climbed even higher, hitting an intraday peak of 286.90 rupees, which is more than 11% up from its listing price. Now, Steve,
Okay, that's some serious movement. Then what happened?
well, that's when we saw some profit booking come into play. The stock sort of pulled back from those highs, settling at 275.49 rupees by the close.
So a bit of a mixed bag then, I guess. What about the initial excitement?
The excitement was definitely there. Before the listing, there were predictions of a premium as high as 45%.
So it didn't quite reach that level, but still a decent showing, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Even with the profit booking, the stock closed significantly higher than the IPO price.
So I'm curious, what do they even do, this Indo Farm Equipment Company?
They make tractors actually, and also pick and carry cranes. Think construction sites and farms.
Okay, so kind of like heavy duty machinery. Makes sense given the recent push for infrastructure development.
Yeah, they offer a wide range of tractors from 16 HP up to 110 HP, catering to various markets, including export markets in Africa, Latin America, and the Middle East.
So not just for the Indian market, then that's good to know.
No, they've even got a special 26 HP model tailored for the European market. And their cranes range from 9 to 30 tons, also available in two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive options.
That's quite a range. And what about their financials? Any idea if they're actually doing well?
Well, on the financial side, they've shown consistent growth with a turnover of 352.6 crore rupees in FY22, climbing to 376 crore rupees in FY24.
And profits? Those are important too, you know.
Yeah, net profits also improved steadily, going from 13.7 crore rupees to 15.6 crore rupees over the same period. Plus, their revenue percentage from the crane business has almost doubled in the last 3 years.
Wow, impressive growth. That's good news for the investors. But wait, what about that IPO money they raised? What's that going towards?
That's a good point. They plan to use the IPO proceeds to expand their crane manufacturing capacity, pay off some debt, and invest more in their finance subsidiary to finance growth.
So, strategic investments, nothing too surprising there. So, overall, they're trying to boost production and reach.
Exactly. Some suggest investors hold on to their shares for medium to long term, despite the initial volatility.
Right. It sounds like they see solid long term prospects, you know.
It's like planting a seed. You don't expect it to grow into a full tree overnight. There might be some bumps along the way, but the potential is there.
That's a good analogy. So, what's the takeaway here for someone just looking at this data?
Well, it shows that even with a great listing, the market can be unpredictable. You need to consider both short term fluctuations and the company's long term potential.
So, not just about making a quick buck, it is about thinking long term, like a marathon rather than a sprint.
Right. And the fact that their IPO was oversubscribed by a whopping 229 times shows there's a strong interest in the company.
That's a really high number. Yeah. What does that mean exactly, though?
It means there was huge demand for the IPO shares, way more than what was available. Investors really believe in their growth potential. So it's a positive sign overall.
Okay, I see. So, a good debut, some profit booking, but overall positive sentiment for the long term with planned expansions ahead.
Exactly. It's a good example of how a company's performance can be influenced by both its own strengths and market sentiments.
This is really insightful. Thanks. So, where do you see this going then?
Well, I think it'll be interesting to see how their expansion plans unfold and if they can continue their current growth trajectory in the coming years.
So, it's basically a watch it while space situation for now, right?
Precisely. It's a story that's still unfolding,